the music. You will be inspired to think higher, realize your gift. Join the Muses and Michele, Gina. Turn us up and through your speakers is the music of music.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming along to season number 2 of the Muses Behind the Music podcast. I am your host, Michele Fowlin. So for those of you who are joining in now, joining in later, I thank you. I thank you for the, hey, cousin. I see my cousin has just popped on. I thank you for the beautiful following. And I'm asking for you all to continue to do so. You know, the whole idea behind the title of the Muses Behind the Music, it's not just for music, but those who are in the visual and performing arts, that there are so many people who you will meet this upcoming season who have been personal inspirations of mine. And they are in all genres and walks of life. And I'm just so proud and elated that we get to sit down and have a conversation, which so many times does not get to happen with one another. Life is such that we just are busy and we keep on moving and shaking. Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric is a former student of mine, a grown student out here, children, and I'm so proud of you all when I'm watching your lives. Y'all didn't even know I'm watching your lives. Okay. So it really is good to have you. I need to show y'all something. If you were with me and with us at the end of season 1, I had Debbie Baxter. Debbie Baxter is a photographer who created this project called The Nest. And essentially what it is she built this life-size nest, literally adult bodies can get into this nest, a bird's nest, and it's almost like going back into the womb. And the idea, the concept behind it, is to be able to heal, to get in touch with your inner self, and to heal those wounds that started from childhood and have progressed all through your adult life, and things that we need to deal with that we've swept under the rug. And she created the book, The Nest. Hey, Debbie, the book came today. I still have the cover on the book, and this is just phenomenal. It is coffee table worthy. Coffee table worthy. And so I am really looking forward to opening up the book and going through it and reading the stories that's in there, and getting in touch with myself as well, and healing some areas that need to be healed for me too. So that's that. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing. And if y'all haven't heard it, what you waiting for? Go on over and listen to it on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms, and you'll be able to hear all of what took place in season 1 and what will live there also in season 2. Hey, listen, I genuinely say this. I would love to hear from each one of you. I mean, maybe not all hundreds of y'all who watch. I appreciate it. Keep watching, keep sharing. Go and follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, The Muses Behind the Music. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, and that you're just listening in. Maybe you're driving home from work one day and you need to just hear something that will motivate you, inspire you, encourage you, heal you. Turn us on. That's it. But I really, really would love to have some comments from those of you who are listening in. I'm one who does not mind constructive criticism and critique. I know that is how I grow. And listen, the word is constructive. constructive criticism and critique, because I will just ignore things that are less than constructive, right? You can feel the energy that comes from it when it is constructive. So bless me with that. And things that you would love to see on the Muses Behind the Music and hear. Remember that we do live stream, although my very first guest on September 21st will be the only pre-recorded. I probably shouldn't say the word only, but in my mind's eye, it's the only pre-recorded program that we will have, and that is featuring the young prodigy jazz gospel artist, 20-year-old Matthew Whitaker. If you do not know that name, I encourage you to go and look up Matthew Whitaker. He's been featured on 60 Minutes. He has played with them all. And he is just a humble young man. And I know that you all will gain a lot from hearing our conversation together on September the 21st. So I wanted to take this opportunity to share a little story with you all, because this isn't going to be a long conversation, but I'm hoping that from the story that I share with you, that it would challenge you. And I'll tell you what the challenge will be. Thank you, Tame. I so appreciate you and Richard and all that you all have done for me and will continue to do. Love to you both. So this is year 29 for me as a public school educator. And I really had to think about that. Like 29 years I've been in this game. Hate to call it a game, but in some instances, it really has been. It's had many more strengths than it has its weaknesses. Many more blessings than it has anything less than being blessed. But for those of us who work with young people, you know that this is not a field in which gratification comes readily. And if you're in it for that purpose, you probably should consider looking at doing something else, because we're seed planters. And for those people out there who have a green thumb, you know that when you plant something and you put water on it, it doesn't automatically spring forth life. It takes time. It takes the love and the nurturing, and you getting down on your hands and your knees and digging in the earth and watering it and allowing God's sun to shine on it and doing things repetitively so that it can begin, that fertile soil can begin to allow the seeds to sprout forth. It's the same thing in education. And if there's one thing that you learn when you're working with young people, you learn that you are going to be challenged. You learn how to have patience. You learn how to have a lot of love. You learn how to be very disciplined, how to be organized and to put your foot down, how to show grace. You just have all of these different characteristics that grow within you because you are working with young people. And notice I said young people because they've already formulated a lot of who they are in their personalities. And so we still have some shaping and molding to do so that some of those things that we see that aren't so pleasant, we can at least help them not take it into their adulthood. Anyway, a couple years ago, I had this student, and she was extremely shy. and I mean extremely shy. Her freshman year of coming into my class, all the students have to stand up at the beginning of the year in front of one another and perform a song of their choice. This is getting them used to the stage. It's getting used to them. It's getting them used to critique because as soon as we walk in the door, we're being critiqued from head to toe, what we're wearing, what we look like, what the hair look like, what the clothes look like. You know how we do as people before we even open up our mouths. And so it can be a very uncomfortable space, but getting them used to the dis-ease and allowing it to actually become a space where they love and they start to commune and they grow with that space. So freshman year, very, very nervous, very apprehensive about the stage, cried a lot in coming up to the stage. And this was kind of throughout the entire year. Sophomore year, got a little bit better, but we were still in that same place. And I used to think, what can I do? What can I do to kind of help this young lady feel more comfortable about being in the room, performing, just enjoying it? Because she has a gorgeous, gorgeous instrument. And I wanted her to appreciate this gift that the Creator gave to her without the fear of all of the other distractions that were around between friends. Although friends were extremely supportive, sometimes our mind plays tricks on us. So junior year comes along and we're doing the same thing again. Again, every single year, it's the same process. Nothing changes with that. And it was her turn to stand up and to sing. And I had my head slightly down. And when she opened up her mouth, this enormous sound came forth to the point where the other students and I, started to look around at one another like, are we really hearing what we're hearing? This is really coming out of her mouth. And it was full and confident and beautiful. And when she was done, I just stood up and applauded her. I just was in so much shock. I said, what happened? Where did all of this come from? And she said, during the summer, I told myself I could. I told myself I could. Isn't that the greatest lesson? That oftentimes we hinder ourselves from receiving what is right there in front of us because we've built up fear and trepidation. We're intimidated by things that, don't really deserve a level of intimidation. And to know that she gave herself this lesson and gave us all the lesson, because this was no longer about her voice, but this was about carrying this identity that all we have to do is tell ourselves. Words are powerful. And it always starts with the thought. As a man or woman thinketh, so is he or she. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that we have to speak life into situations, that we really end up defeating ourselves when we give ourselves those second guesses. But instead of that, you know what? Speak the truth. I'm good. God has created me. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I can do all things. There is no fear. I mean, we have to tell ourselves over and over how to become the overcomer. What I love so much about this season 2 and the people who are coming on for conversations is that for each one of these people, they have at some point in their life told themselves they could. And I am excited that they're going to be sharing that journey because somebody needs to hear it. And I'm only hoping and praying that if you haven't done that for yourself as yet, what are you waiting for? Go on ahead. Tell yourself when you wake up. Don't even wait till the morning time. Go ahead and look at the mirror right now and let you know I can. I'm going to go get some t-shirts made. I'm going to get some stuff put together that just says, I told myself I could. The reassurance of knowing that. And so I'm excited that these conversations are going to happen. We're going to be all the more intimate. I know that it's the Delta variant that's going on around here. So there are times that you're going to see the live studio, and we're going to be protected and geared up, do what we need to do. But for those guests who are living far away, they're going to be live with us through this streaming platform. I'm really excited. Like, I was watching the countdown before it came on, and I was like, here it is. Here it is, like another season to come. So thank you all. I'm excited about what's to take place. I hope you are too. Go on ahead and share what we're doing with somebody. Somebody needs to hear it. And until I see you all again in a couple of weeks, remember, you can, you will. Blessed be.